Welcome to this strategy explainer. Right now, I want you to imagine a clean, aesthetically pleasing dark mode digital tablet right in front of you. Soft, rhythmic study beats are playing in the background. Today, we are setting a baseline for absolute cognitive clarity. Find a quiet space, take a deep, steady breath, and let's dial your focus all the way in. We are calmly tackling a notorious pressure point in the Cambridge AS and A-Level Mathematics 9709 syllabus. Specifically, we are looking at Topic 6.4, Unbiased Estimates. Throughout this deep focus session, we are going to follow the hypothetical journey of two of our scholars. First, we have Alex. Now, Alex is incredibly analytical and highly precise, but under pressure, Alex tends to crowd the page layouts with totally unstructured facts. Beside Alex, we have Sam. Sam is creative and dynamic, but prone to losing focus on specific command word parameters when the clock is ticking. By calmly observing how they deconstruct the material, we are going to build a serene, unshakable strategy for your own exam mastery.
So, here is our pristine roadmap for today's session. We are going to start with mastering unbiased estimates, then move into a step-by-step technical methodology, navigate the top examiner report warnings, practice thinking exactly like an examiner, and finish up with a final exam-focused strategy. Having the structured containment of the syllabus is exactly what will completely eliminate your exam anxiety. Let's jump right in.
Section 1. Mastering Unbiased Estimates, the Theoretical Architecture.
Okay, let's open up a pristine digital notebook display here. We are looking at a complex, high-tariff Cambridge past paper question. Cambridge examiners demand exact precision. We have our population mean, represented mathematically by the Greek letter mu, and our population variance, represented by sigma squared. Now imagine our scholar Alex looking at this. Alex might be tempted to just dump every single textbook definition they've ever memorized straight onto the page. But let's take a clean digital highlighter and calmly peel back all those filler words. We need to isolate exactly what the assessment objectives demand. You see, you aren't just finding a generic mean. You are calculating an unbiased estimate of the true population mean. And when estimating population variance, this is precisely why we mathematically divide the sum of squared deviations by n-1 rather than just n. Sam might ask, why do we do that? Well, that specific mathematical adjustment systematically corrects for the downward bias of a sample variance. Articulating that exact difference with total serenity is non-negotiable for top band marks.
This perfectly illustrates the cognitive domains the exam is targeting. It is never just rote memorization. It's deep knowledge, practical application, and systematic analysis. But look closely at that last bullet point, cross-topic connections. The principal examiner reports explicitly state that candidates who naturally reference cross-topic connections unlock significantly higher marks. This means you need to seamlessly understand how your unbiased estimate of sigma squared connects to normal distributions, hypothesis testing, or even confidence intervals. When you show the examiner you see the entire mathematical ecosystem, you prove your mastery.
Focus level 100%. Let's pause for a calculated cognitive breather. Before we dive into the heavy procedural mechanics, let your mind completely reset. Just take a breath. We are about to enter the methodology phase, where we take all this calm theory and turn it into undeniable, high-scoring mathematical proof on the page.
Section 2. Step-by-step technical methodology, the procedural flow.
This is where we shift our focus to the method mark strategy. In Cambridge exams, marks are almost never just awarded for a lucky final answer. They are earned through clear, systematic working. I want you to imagine Sam and Alex in a shared digital workspace right now, collaboratively mapping out this standardized 5-step sequence line by line. Step 1, identify key elements. This means calmly extracting the relevant data from the question prompt before you even pick up your pen. Step 2, apply relevant principles. This is where you select your analytical framework. Step 3, execute analysis with clear working. Listen to me. This step right here is your method mark goldmine. This is where you prove your logic. Step 4, verify your results. Does the math actually make sense in reality? And finally, Step 5, present in the appropriate format using the absolute correct terminology.
So, Sam dynamically suggests a memory hack to anchor this framework into your mind when you're under pressure. Take the first letters of those 5 course steps: I, A, E, V, P. Identify, apply, execute, verify, present. You can remember it as, I always expect victorious presentations. The entire goal here is to drill this procedural framework into your mind so deeply that when the exam clock is relentlessly ticking, your hand just automatically starts following the sequence, completely bypassing any test anxiety.
Let's breathe and refocus. We are pausing the smooth on-screen handwriting animation for a mid-session reboot. Before we write out our final top-band paragraph structure, make sure your daily study dashboard is complete. Subscribe to Ace the Exams, that's at Ace the Exams right now, and enable all notification alerts. Whether your target is an IGCSE, an O-level, or an AS and A-level A-star, this channel is your weekly space for stress-free exam mastery. Now imagine our scholars hitting a structural roadblock mid-paragraph. Their evidence suddenly drops out of alignment. To calmly restore balance, we rely on the Peel structure: point, evidence, explain, link. You make your mathematical point, you show your evidence with clear working, you explain the n-1 correction, and you softly link it back to the exact parameter the question asks for. Balance restored.
Section 3. Top Examiner Report Warnings. Navigating Hazards.
We are shifting to a slightly more authoritative tone here because we need to navigate the exact hazards where students lose easy marks. Read this quote from the Principal Examiner Report carefully. Candidates consistently confuse key terminology. Always define terms before using them in extended responses. When Alex analyzes this exact quote, a massive realization hits. Throwing unstructured facts onto the page actually overwhelms and confuses the examiner. Before you start mathematically manipulating mu and sigma squared, you must explicitly state what they represent in the specific context of the prompt. Total structural discipline always starts with crystal clear definitions.
Structural discipline is so fragile under intense exam pressure. So let's act as an intentional pattern interrupt right now. We are going to strictly isolate the top 3 specific mistakes that consistently disrupt structural discipline so you can lock them out of your mind entirely. Sam and Alex are looking at a flawed student paragraph right now, debating exactly where the structure breaks down. They identify these 3 principal errors. Mistake 1, confusing cause and effect. Students often mix up whether the sample is estimating the population or they incorrectly assume the sample perfectly mirrors the population without any variance. Mistake 2, forgetting to check format and presentation. You could have a brilliant calculation using n-1, but it immediately loses marks if it is not presented with clear notation. Mistake 3, and this is exactly where our dynamic scholar Sam often trips up, providing answers not specific to the given context. If the exam question is actively asking about the weight of harvest apples, your final evaluative statement absolutely must mention the weight of the apples, not just generically refer to the data.
Section 4. Thinking like an examiner. Critical analysis.
Welcome to our visual satisfaction practice arena. Let's do a mindful scan. I want to visually contrast a flawed descriptive approach with a pristine, high-scoring evaluative thought process. A descriptive approach just lists basic methodologies and standard terminology completely devoid of context. It is mathematically flat. But an evaluative approach, the high-scoring thought process you need, questions assumptions, considers different perspectives, and justifies decisions with hard mathematical evidence. For Challenge 1, imagine a complex data graph on screen with a 60-second countdown timer. The evaluative mind extracts the single most high-yielding core trend instantly. For Challenge 2, the imperfect answer. If you look at a flawed student paragraph, you need to spot exactly where structural discipline breaks down. For instance, if a sample size is extremely small, an evaluative answer explicitly notes how that impacts the reliability of your unbiased estimate for the population variance. It actively engages with the limitations of the mathematics.
Moving up these assessment levels requires a distinct, highly deliberate shift in action. Look at this matrix. The descriptive level requires you to merely state standard formats and notations. The analytical level steps it up, asking you to compare approaches and evaluate performance. But the evaluative level, the A-star band, demands that you provide justified recommendations and alternatives. Alex and Sam use this exact table to write out their flawless response out loud, line by line, perfectly fitting the mark scheme parameters. Every single sentence you write should be actively pushing you further down this table towards that evaluative band. You state your unbiased estimate, you calmly analyze how it compares to the expected population parameters, and you evaluate what it fundamentally means for the real-world context of the problem. Section 5. Final Exam Focus Strategy. The Systematic Recipe Recap. We are distilling the entire masterclass now as our scholars view their completely flawless response paragraph on the display. Before you ever drop your pen in the exam hall, you must execute the final polish review pass. Guarantee your examiner compliance by adhering strictly to strict conventions. Use proper headings if the layout demands it. Ensure correct terminology. Did you clearly write the words unbiased estimate? Apply the appropriate numerical formats and carefully maintain clear annotation of your working steps. I cannot stress this enough.
Presentation follows strict conventions. Locking in this procedural framework creates maximum visual satisfaction, making it effortlessly easy for the examiner to award you every single method mark available. This is the ultimate marks per minute flow formula.
By combining exact theoretical terminology with a rigid, step-by-step execution and a deeply evaluative mindset, Topic 6.4 transforms from a high-stress hazard into a source of guaranteed, predictable marks. You now possess the blueprint. The focus meter is maxed out. Before we close this session, I have a question for you. What specific subject, tier, and target grade are you currently meditating on? Let us know down in the comments below. And remember, subscribe to Ace the Exams, that's at Ace the Exams, and click the notification bell for all our future focused deployments. Stay calm, stay structured, and thank you for joining this explainer.